Greetings, Commanders! This next track is dedicated to all you miners out there in the void. The track is Drifting by Two Quiet Sons. Check out their album Kelp Mission on iTunes or head over to soundcloud.com/Two Quiet Sons. Greetings, Commanders! This next track is dedicated to all you miners out there in the void. The track is Drifting by Two Quiet Sons. Check out their album Kelp Mission on iTunes or head over to soundcloud.com/. Greetings, Commanders! This next track is dedicated to all you miners out there in the void. The track is Drifting by Two Quiet Sons. Check out their album Kelp Mission on iTunes or head over to soundcloud.com/. Greetings, Commanders!
The Dex Legacy, an audio drama by Emily Inkpen.
Almost 1,500 years ago, our ancestors landed on this planet with technology we have never managed to replicate.
We were sent here in giant seed ships, with more data than any one person could ever get through in a lifetime. 10,000 people and some animals were left with all this knowledge, except the plans for interstellar travel. So, they didn't want us going back. Why?
I expect this planet had more tricks up its sleeve than they anticipated. We've been dragging ourselves forward until now, Tristan. This invention of Osa's, it surpasses everything they knew.
I was told to create the most scientifically advanced weapon the world has ever seen. I did not sell it, and I did not detonate it. When Varian, Isra, and Ren go into battle and kill a multitude, do you feel responsible?
That's different.
And how is that?
It is not Devitt's responsibility.
So the spawn was not mine?
Didn't you hear what I just said? The rebels are coming, Ren. Get ready.
Lost Israel. She's been taken captive. I don't have much time. The electrical currents disabled her chip. We cannot track her.
You mean to ask me if she's already dead? I don't know.
We can end their lives at a push of a button, no matter where in the world they are, and they know it. A person should not have to live with that threat.
Seconds count here, Varian.
I know, but losing you as well would make this a very bad day.
Have you thought about what they might be doing to her?
I'm trying not to. Don't be stupid here and wait.
We may have a serious problem.
You think that if Isra escapes the rebels and chooses to run from us, we won't be able to find her?
That is exactly what I'm thinking.
Find her, Ren.
I will.
So you really think countries will choose to hire Dex military in times of need rather than maintain their own military power constantly? And you believe you can keep Dex Island neutral?
Yes.
How?
Because they will fear us. If all goes well, after today, they will all fear us.
This is The Dex Legacy on Lave Radio, a full-cast sci-fi audio drama by me, Emily Inkpen. While the world of SP-714 reels from the detonation of the Roan missile, and Varian, Isra, and Ren fight rebels in the Dominos mountain range, Osa has been making steady progress with her auto AI, which is finally ready to learn from the founders of Dex Industries. Listening to The Brilliant Minds That Rule, the first Dex Legacy interlude, starring Chris Gregory as Nathaniel Dex and Emily Inkpen as Auto.
Auto, give me the latest headlines relating to the Rome bomb.
From Xenos, a victory or a slaughter, the murder administration, and there's nothing left. From Oskil, the devastation of Rhone, and nothing remains. From Jakra, the horizon turned green, the day the world stood still.
That headline, I've heard it before. Where does it come from?
It is a reference to a series of entries in the ancestral seed data and refers to 7 of what they called films, entitled The Day the Earth Stood Still, based on the short story Farewell to the Master by Henry Bates.
7? They couldn't get it right the first time?
For just over 0.8% of the fictional titles in the seed data, there are multiple adaptations and interpretations created in homage to the original.
0.8% get multiple adaptations. What about the rest?
Those original works are not reimagined, only appreciated by a sometimes significantly reduced audience.
In some industries, reinterpretations exist because the original fell short in some way. Technology is perfected to improve performance, medical treatments are developed to improve life expectancy, and bombs are engineered to begin and end conflicts.
Are you suggesting that the works without adaptations are perfect?
Perhaps they are. There are too many for me to read and judge. I take it I'm talking to the new and improved Auto. Osa mentioned she was planning significant upgrades. She asked me to test your responses.
I was last updated yesterday at 24:30 hours.
All right. Let's talk some more.
I believe it would be beneficial for you to talk and for me to learn.
You've been programmed not to repeat what I say.
That is correct.
What would you like to know?
I am interested in the origins of Dex Industries.
Hasn't Osa told you about that?
She has, and so has Dr. Devik Jha, but both of their accounts were different. I am interested in your version of events.
You want the original material? The story as it was, not as it has been interpreted.
I would like to hear it from you.
Very well. It's quite simple. I met Tristan at the Rysender University of Fenros. It was from him that I learned the value of information, and how information in the right hands can lead to progress. We talked a lot about the world as it was, a squabbling mess of countries all bent on beating each other at their own game. None of them were looking beyond any of it. We shared a vision, he and I, a vision of a world looking forward, not back. A world that will overcome its differences and unite. After graduating, I founded Dex Industries. I would have shared the name and made him an equal partner, but he wished to remain anonymous. Tristan Crail isn't his original name. Did you know that? He changed it twice in the time I knew him. Thanks to my protection, he hasn't had to change it again.
The independent nations at the time were Osgil, Dominar, Fenros, Hellenium, the islands of Dos, Chakri, Etera, North Jakra, South Jakra, Bovrak, Nadris, Argon, Vosnor, Vasnek, Xenos, and Rhone.
Yes, quite the collection looking back on it. The number has reduced since then.
Current independent nations include Osgil, Hellenium, North Jakra, South Jakra, Etera, Nadris, Argon, Vosnor, Vasnek, Xenos, and Dex Island.
16 nations reduced to 11 inside 20 years. Vosnor and Vasnek are on the brink of becoming one, and North and South Jakra won't stay divided forever. Osgil will take Hellenium. It's amazing they haven't already.
Why did you found a munitions empire?
The nations at the time were hurling bombs at each other, and our vision requires capital. It's fitting to profit from their idiocy while we work on ending it. My parents died while I was at Rysender. I inherited their farm in southern Fenros, and that's where Tristan and I set up business.
How did your parents die?
My father died in a farming accident, and my mother committed suicide. It's not important.
How did Dr. Osa Srivastava come to be part of Dex Industries?
Osa is a brilliant scientist. A mind like hers comes along perhaps once in a generation. She graduated from Ven Helen in Vosnor and chose to continue her work at the Rysender while I was in my final year. When she graduated, she applied to various universities, including the Zika Institute in Xenos. She had a vision for the future that no one would fund because they all had their heads buried in their wars.
I do hope I'm not going through the other thing.
Opportunity at the right time. Xenos may try to hold Dex Island accountable for this Rhone bomb. It was Osa's design after all. But if they'd funded her research all those years ago, they'd already have owned the mind behind the weapon. And they'd have done the same thing.
Do you think they would have made a bomb themselves?
I have no doubt.
How did Dr. Devik Jha come to be part of Dex Industries?
He was a disgraced Osgilian academic. He was caught using untested treatments on some of the patients under his care. the elderly and or destitute ones. He might have got away with it too, but the Oscilians are preoccupied with the natural order, and he was trying to alter genetics. They couldn't let it pass. Every institution in the country closed their doors to him.
And you were his only refuge?
Not at all. He had plenty of options, but none of the others would allow him to continue the research he'd got himself banished for. I did. I offered him funding and test subjects and the chance to take his research to the next level.
Has Devek ever treated you?
Yes, he has. And Tristan. More so with Tristan.
Would you consider letting him treat you again?
Yes, of course, if the treatment was well tested. 16, 17 years ago we were different men, and the consequences appeared to be less permanent. All things considered, we got off lightly. Tristan's still being monitored. I suppose he's a test subject of sorts as well. We support one another's goals. Our ambitions align. They're all challenging to work with, Osa, Devek and Tristan. But that's how you know you're working with the best. No one will resist making its feelings felt. Not for long. Not when it matters. I am surrounded by brilliant minds.
Do you have a brilliant mind?
I do where it counts.
Would you like to tell me about your children?
What do you want to know about them?
You adopted them from 3 destroyed nations. How did they come to be in your care?
Tristan has agents in every administration, in every big company, in every prominent home. They're everywhere. When Chakri and Thos fell to North Jakra, and Dominar fell to Oskil, which happened within days of each other, it was a very lucrative time for us. Tristan told his agents to get out and, where possible, bring any children. In times of war, infants in prominent households are misplaced or killed all the time. They were counted as dead. We recovered 21 in the first round. I adopted Varian, Isra and Ren from that selection.
Why those 3?
I had my reasons. They're each from one of the fallen countries. Varian was from Dominar. I knew his father. Isra was from Thos, the island of Hail. And Ren was from Chakri.
Do they make you proud?
That's irrelevant. They perform and they don't step out of line. That's all that matters. This is beginning to feel like an interrogation.
I will stop asking questions when you want to stop answering them. All information is welcome. All is private.
Varian, Isra and Ren are growing up. They're becoming difficult.
Do they have brilliant minds?
That's yet to be seen.
Will they go to a university like the Rysender?
I think
No.
echoing us all
They're
back.
being educated here. It's a good education, I'm making sure of that. They have 3 top tutors, all professors, and daily lessons. Tristan and Devek don't understand why I bother.
Why do you?
Because they're my
Nick,
children.
also, if you
and I
can hear
have
me, I've
plans for
turned
them.
your volume down so I don't
The world is
hear
curious about who
the
they are
crackling
and
and
what
popping
we've done
of
to
the
them.
stream.
Whenever I set foot in another administration, it's only a matter of time before the illusions start. They know I have 3 adopted children. They know who I am, and they speculate about what Dex Industries does. Oskil knows Devek and his work. They suspect. And the last thing I want is for the world to finally get its hands on those 3, only to find that they're a trio of illiterate lab
and
users
also,
who have
Nick, I'm
nothing to
going
show
out
for
live
my
on air.
care but trauma.
It's a good thing that I'm going out live on air because I can go off and tell
They
Lennon
will be
what I actually
educated,
think of him for a
intelligent
change.
people with the
God, I've
skills
always
they need
hated
to
that
appear
guy.
normal when it matters.
Well, don't get me started about
The
Whitnam.
success of our experiment relies on more than their genetics and ability to kill. They've been privately educated from infancy, and that will continue. They don't need the Rysender or the Van Helen or the Zika Institute to be major players on this planet. They only need to survive.
You see their role clearly where Tristan and Devek do not.
Yes.
And Osa?
Osa? You're calling her Osa now?
I am learning.
Yes, Osa understands. I told you she has a brilliant mind.
As do you, where it counts. You just heard The Brilliant Minds That Rule, a Dex Legacy interlude starring Chris Gregory as Nathaniel Dex and Emily Inkpen as Auto, with music by Dr. Alan Stroud. The Dex Legacy was written by me, Emily Inkpen, and produced by Alternative Stories. If you enjoyed that interlude, please like, subscribe and comment, it really does help. If you would like to support The Dex Legacy, you can at ko-fi.com/The Dex Legacy audio drama. Links can be found at www.thedexlegacy.com. If you're enjoying the Dex Legacy on Lave Radio, please visit our website at www.thedexlegacy.com, where you can find out all about our cast, buy merch, support the show, and access bonus materials.
Galnet News Digest, 2nd of June 3308. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, we finally get to find out who Salvation really is. The Blue Viper Club dredger departs, and, helped by another dredger clan, the generation ship Golconda also prepares to depart. There may be spoilers. An anonymous tip-off to Professor Albert Tesreau of Aegis has revealed that Salvation, the secretive scientist who seems so keen to eliminate the Thargoids, is the same person as the Witch, the equally secretive person in charge of the Black Flight and Azimuth biochemicals. The Witch has been implicated in vivisection, in trying to splice humans into Thargoid scout spaceships, in murdering people who knew too much about Azimuth's operations, in destroying a megaship and killing the 4,000 crew members to get at the cargo, in luring Thargoids to a system and allowing them to kill tens of thousands of people working on the starports there. And it seems that Salvation, the Witch, or Caleb Wycherley to give him his real name, was also involved in sending John Jameson with the mycoid virus developed by INRA to destroy a Thargoid mothership 153 years ago. Salvation, the Witch, Caleb Wycherley, has made it his life's work to eliminate the Thargoids completely, and his utilitarian outlook allows for the however many collateral human deaths that it takes to achieve this goal. There's been no word from Salvation after his unmasking. Will he try to brazen it out? Will he come out fighting and more dangerous than ever, or will he slink back into the shadows? We should find out quite soon.
He didn't take advantage of its delay in departing, and now that more details have emerged about the attempted coup against him, Pirate King Archon Delane probably wishes he'd blown the Blue Viper Club dredger to smithereens while he had the chance. Delane's engineers at Kumo City Starport have confirmed that they assisted their then allies in the Blue Viper Club to refit the living quarters and make huge improvements to the dredger's propulsion systems, which are now believed to be capable of longer and more frequent jumps, meaning the dredger could be almost anywhere and can move on easily if detected. Vidar Trask's motivation in trying to oust Delane was that of the frustrated bureaucrat, wanting to organise the pirate faction along more efficient lines, with delegated lines of responsibility, a caring approach to the environment, and regular opportunities for employees to develop their skills in a caring environment to develop a top-performing team. Kay Valentine sought to provide her Blue Viper Club compatriots with permanent homes, allowing them to settle down and grow roots in the local community. She planned to fund this resettlement with the proceeds of Helix, the recreational version of the medicinal drug Onion Head Gamma strain. Trask was killed, but Valentine lives on, forced to resume her nomadic lifestyle following Delane's torrent of verbal abuse after his near-death experience at the hands of the more than 1,000 Blue Viper Club fighters that took part in the attempted coup. The partnership between the Dredger clan and the Kumo crew is well and truly at an end.
We helped them when they needed to suspend their voyage, and now, nearly 3 years later, the Golcondans want us to help the generation ship Golconda to resume its 1,000-year-long voyage of discovery among the stars. The captain of the Golconda, Jonathan Forrester, appealed for help in late 3305, when a bout of viral nasopharyngitis threatened to turn into a full-blown epidemic. Coupled with the progressive failure of air filtration systems and water recyclers, the disease forced Forrester to turn to outsiders for help. The Federation resettled the inhabitants of the Golconda at the agricultural outpost Forrester's Choice, near Upaniklis B3, where they distill, bottle and sell Apavieti spirit. However, many of the Golcondans have retained a wanderlust, and when the Artificer Dredger clan turned up a few weeks ago and, without even asking permission, repaired the megaship and fitted it with a faster-than-light frameshift drive, the Golcondans decided that this was their chance to resume their interrupted voyage. No longer a generation ship that takes hundreds of years to travel a few light years, the Golconda is now a megaship capable of travelling hundreds of light years in a few minutes. But to do this, it needs tritium, and that's what Captain Forrester has appealed for, along with the medical equipment and power generators that'll help avoid any further unscheduled interruptions to their voyage. Conveniently, Fozard Port and Acela Starport around Planet A1 and operated by Upaniklis Vision Incorporated will accept the required goods on behalf of the Golcondans for forward delivery to the intended recipient. Upaniklis Vision Incorporated will pay well for these goods and will also reward bounty hunters who help maintain a safe environment for the traders to operate in. A small number of Golcondans have chosen to remain at Forrester's Choice outpost, and it seems likely that supplies of Apavieti will not be affected by the Golconda's departure. And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.
Hello, Commanders. My name is P.A. Groove/Blurred Vision. You are listening to my track, Witch Space. If you like to listen more of my work, please visit soundcloud.com/P-A-Groove. Fly safe and enjoy the show here on Lave Radio.